Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again. Just wanted to make a video, talk about a little bit about a book that actually changed my life for the better. And this book, actually means a lot to me because this was the first book that I read in a very long time. And when I say read a book, I'm not talking about like, I read a book when I went to school or anything like that. This is an actual book that I picked up that I felt inspired to read, that I wanted to grow and learn and get more information. So this is actually, you can say, my first book that I've actually ever read. I don't really count the school books and everything that I've read because it wasn't really through my choice or my choosing, but for sure this is definitely a book that I've picked out on my own. And the book is by Napoleon Hill. It's called Think and Grow Rich. I'm sure probably most of you have heard of it or read the book. And I just wanted to talk about chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the power of thought. And it's very powerful, because in chapter 1, he talks about a couple of stories. He talks about, Barnes working with Edison, and how Barnes was like pretty much a homeless person or he was broke, had no money. He had no way of transportation to get to where he needed to go. And two, he had no idea how he was going to meet Edison. But his thought process was definite that he was going to get into business with Edison and become a partner. And his story goes, he didn't have money to travel, so he jumped on a train and headed over to Edison's office and pretty much asked for a job there. And although he didn't get partnership right away, he took whatever job was available, and he was able to show his worth, and he worked up to manifest his dream, which was to be a partner with Edison. So if you haven't read that book, go ahead and pick it up and read it. I really suggest it. Another thing that he talks about in chapter 1 is 3 feet away from gold. He talks about a man that he borrowed a lot of money from his relatives, and I believe it was his father, his uncle, went into business with him to buy a mine and start digging for gold. At first they had success. They had found a good amount of gold, enough to pay everybody back for the most part. But then the gold mine went dry, and even though they were digging, they couldn't find the gold. So they decided to give up, sell the rest of the equipment, whatever they had, for a very little amount of money. And the thing is, the person that bought that equipment was smart enough to hire someone to analyze the area, and those people stopped 3 feet away from gold. If they would have kept on going just that 3 more feet and not give up, they would have been super duper rich. But unfortunately, that didn't pan out for them. But the good thing for the guy that sold that mine, he went along and he became a very successful insurance salesperson. So I believe he started his own company. So I think the moral of that story is you have to be persistent, keep pushing for your goal, and don't give up, especially when you're just 3 feet away from gold. Another inspiring story that was covered in chapter 1, which I think it's freaking awesome. It talks about the famous director. He started his what's his name? He did Jurassic Park. He started DreamWorks. What? I can't think of his name off the bat of my head. What is it? Spielberg. There you go. Steven Spielberg. The way he got into Universal Studios and got himself an office and a job is freaking amazing. So he went on he paid for his ticket at Universal Studios. He took the tour, and he snuck off the tour and went into the studios, found an abandoned office, and put his name on it. And on that first day when he did that, when he when he was leaving, he made sure to talk to the security guard at the gate and said, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. So when he came in the next day, the security guard already knew him. And the funny thing is, he worked there for several months, going undetected, unnoticed, that he wasn't hired to work there. But he made some good connections. He networked with everyone there, and he was able to start his independent film there and share it with one of the other directors there. So it's an amazing story. I really recommend you pick up the book. It's very inspiring. A lot of lessons in each chapter. I think what I'm going to do, I'll probably do a video on each chapter, just a brief little summary, synopsis on it. And then another one that's pretty good too, that was covered in the first chapter, is covers a story about a little girl about being persistent about getting 50 cents from a farmer that her mom needed 50 cents for something. And this little girl puts this man in check after this man just had like a full outrage on her, and she kind of stood her ground and said, I'm not leaving without those 50 cents. So it's quite intriguing. And it's just small little principles, things like that we, I guess, if we would pay attention and kind of reflect on our own situation, on everyday lives, those little things pushing forward can push your life forward. But we're too acceptant of the word no. Like, we think just because someone says no, then you give up and you stop trying, or something doesn't work out, you give up. And that's not the mindset to have. You want to have an abundance mindset. You want to know that the world, the universe is here for you, and it's always working on your side. But the thing is, it's up to you to control that, because only you have the responsibility. Only you control your desires. Only you can get an answer, whether it's yes, you give up, or no, you keep going. So that's chapter 1 pretty much. So I'll talk to you guys later. Just wanted to talk to you about that real quick. It's very inspiring. I've read this book, Think and Grow Rich, probably this is like the 10th time I'm reading it. So again, I started at chapter 1. A lot of aha moments in this book. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'll do one on chapter 2. Talk to you guys soon. Yeah.